The following segment is sponsored by PPCM Fund Incorporated. A new docuseries is giving women a voice and justice when it comes to a medical condition that can be life-threatening. Lindsay is here to tell us more. Lindsay, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me and able to talk about the painful truth of the U.S. epidemics, maternal mortality, preventable deaths of peripartum cardiomyopathy, PPCM.
All right, so you mentioned what this is called. What are the symptoms for this medical condition?
The symptoms are usually relatable to what they call anxiety, but it's shortness of breath, heavy on the chest, can't lay flat. A lot of women swell terribly, and that's the cause of this disease, is the swelling. Usually women swell so much that they suffocate until suffocation when it's prevented as early as 10 weeks pregnant with the NT-proBNP test.
And then you just talked about how it can be prevented. Let's talk about the documentary series. How did this come to be?
This came to be is where I'm the 1% survivor in Los Angeles from this disease, to find out that it's extremely common. It's not rare, which they say, it's just rarely diagnosed. And I see a recurring, childbirth, death related, and it's not being talked about. People don't know about this disease. When you talk to anybody on the streets, they've never heard of it. I am, as well as other survivors around the world, but most definitely in the U.S., are educating the medical community. The ER is saving women at a life threat when it's prevented as early as 10 weeks pregnant.
All right, and Lindsay, you've talked about that and how this documentary series came to be. You really wanted to help others. Talk to us about how your nonprofit has helped families.
My nonprofit has helped family that has been suffering after PPCM comes, a lot of other challenges with this disease. PPCM is responsible for 1 in 20 heart transplants in the U.S. And so a lot of women with that have co-pays that are very high, and it saves lives. In order, defibrillators come into play, life vests that are $5,000. You can't buy it, it's only to rent for 3 months. This is very expensive. Once you're diagnosed with this disease, there's layers of saving mommy to keep her healthy so she can, keep her family, back to hopefully somewhat a normal status. As you can say, if you live through this disease, it's very scary. Yeah. So there's a mental health really advocacy, self-advocacy is one of the most important part of surviving this disease. The women need a voice.
And
they
Lindsay,
need justice.
You are doing so much good with this docuseries and your nonprofit. And thank you so much for spending the time with us today to teach us all about this. We've loved having you. Thank you again.
Thank you.